This is the Ceruledge EX deck list that I managed to come up with. I've been having pretty good success with it. I went 7-3 in a 10-game testing series on a live stream earlier tonight. The list has felt pretty solid overall. We do play the 4 new Charcadex. We only have 3 of the Ceruledge EX. We play 2 Squawkabilly. You have to play Squawkabilly on your first turn, so having 2 of them is a must. You could prize one, and then your start is too slow, and you just never get back in the game. Squawkabilly, too important to play. You have to play 2. You cannot play a heavy ball in 1 Squawkabilly. It just doesn't work. If you prize Squawkabilly, you're going to wish you had just played 2. We do have the 1/1 line of Palkia V and V Star. Palkia V and V Star, if you don't prize them, if you can have access to both, does turn on access to Radiant Greninja. Having access to Radiant Greninja is so strong in this current format. You can take double knockouts on Hoot Hoots, double knockouts on Comface, Dreepies, Charmanders, Pidgeys. It's just extremely powerful, and it's a way to deal with Mimikyu. This deck doesn't really have a way to deal with Mimikyu unless you want to put in Canceling Clone, you want to put in like Professor Turos and other things like that to deal with those type of decks. With the Radiant Greninja, you could just Moonlight Shuriken both of, the Mimikyus if they play 2. If they only play 1, then they have to fish it back out, and you can Moonlight Shuriken again. We do play enough energy for that to happen back-to-back turns. So Radiant Greninja, Palkia V, V-Star, I've been loving it in this deck. Any deck that you play that plays Area 0, Palkia V-Star instantly becomes your best attacker because it does so much damage for only 2 energies, and it can Star Portal to itself. We do play the 4 Professor Research for Carmine for your first turn going first. And then just overall, you want to just be dumping your hand every single turn to get all of your energy into the discard pile. We play 9 Fire and 5 Water energy. We play 3 Jet energies. You want to be able to pivot around if you have to. Your Ceruledges do have 2 retreat cost. Your Palkia has 2 retreat cost. So those are pretty easy cards to trap. So we have the Jet energies to stop that from happening. We play the 2 Bosses orders. Most of the time I end up playing both Bosses orders, and then I use Pal Pad to put them back. Or if Pokestop mills them, we do put them back with Pal Pad as well. Pal Pad's a must-have for the Bosses order specifically. We play 2 Pokestops. We don't normally need this, but whenever we do have it, we have access to it. It helps us find Ultra Ball, Night Stretcher, Nest Ball, Earthen Vessel. Helps us find a lot of stuff. Only problem is you can mill your Legacy energy. We do play the Legacy energy over Brilliant Blender. In my initial list of this deck, I did play the Brilliant Blender. The additional 5 card discard for 5 energies for an additional 100 damage seemed extremely strong. But as I played the deck more and more, it just kept losing to the 2/2/2 prize trade. Your opponent would boss up your Squawkabilly, your opponent would boss up, your Palkia V, your opponent would boss up something other than your Ceruledge, and you would just lose to the prize trade without your opponent really ever taking out your Ceruledge. But the Legacy energy does help offset that prize trade. You could attach it to your Greninja, and then they don't take a prize if they knock out your Greninja in the active. And if they don't knock out your Greninja in the active, Moonlight Shuriken again. You can attach it to your Ceruledge for its 1 energy attack with Abyssal Flames, and then you have your Fire energy, and then your opponent's only taking 1 prize for a 2 prize card knockout. You can also attach it to your Squawkabilly on your bench. I have done that in a few matches. It does keep them from bossing that up. It's such a liability. I think in like 4 of the 10 matches, my opponent ended up knocking out Squawkabilly and Palkia V for 4 of the 6 prize cards that they took. And then the games we did lose, most of the time when we were losing is because we didn't get access to Legacy energy or we prized our Palkia V and V-Star. We had a mirror match that we lost because we prized our Palkia V. With Palkia V, we probably would have run away with that match pretty easily with Radiant Greninja and just having Ordinary Form Palkia in general. We also didn't see Legacy energy that match, and our opponent did. So Legacy energy did its job for our opponent. We didn't see it, so we ended up losing the prize trade thanks to Legacy energy. We have 3 Earthen Vessel. I could see this going up to a 4 of. I just don't know what I would cut. 4 Night Stretcher is a must-have. You're discarding your hand so much that if you don't play 4 Night Stretcher, you're going to end up discarding too many Night Stretchers and you're going to run out of resources. 4 Night Stretcher is a must. If you go down to 3 Night Stretchers, the only card you could cut or add in place of a Night Stretcher is a Super Rod, in my opinion. Super Rod would be kind of nice to have, but then you run the risk of just milling whatever you put back with Pokestop. And most of the time, you don't really need to be fishing out extra Pokemon. You just want to use Night Stretcher to grab a Ceruledge because you're going to set up your Charcadets on the bench. And then occasionally your opponent will knock out Fezandipity. You just Night Stretcher for Fezandipity back so you can keep drawing 3 cards with that. Overall, super powerful deck list. Let's hop into some games, show you how it works. All right, we're going to choose to go first here. You always want to go first with the Ceruledge EX deck. You do have to evolve before you can attack. unless you're using Radiant Greninja, but most of the time you'd want to choose to go first. I can't think of a single matchup where you would choose to go second. 2 mulligans, that's great. All right, we're going to start Charcadet, since we do get to go first here. We'll get to attach our Legacy Energy. Unfortunately, we're going to be... Okay, we're playing Charizard. I think Charizard's basically free. I don't know how Charizard wins, but I think we're going to dump both of our Ceruledge here, which should be okay. We can get him back with Night Stretcher, of course, and just get a whole... just get another bunch of those. Grab 2 Water Energy. We're going to want to discard these Water Energies to potentially use with the Palkia. All right, we got a Carmine, which is good to see. We are dumping one of our Night Stretchers, which is not good. We could dump one Night Stretcher and we should be fine. Another Charcadet, that's good to see. We'll dump another energy. We got to have a lot of energy in the discard pile to be able to knock out a Charizard. So we're going to do our best to get as many in the discard pile as we can here. Nice. All right, let's see if we have Palkia V and V-Star. We do have Palkia V and V-Star. We may do Radiant Greninja next turn. Depends on what we end up with here. All right, go ahead and pass the turn. Since our opponent's playing Charizard, we know they're not going to be attacking. So we should be able to do whatever we want here. The best play is probably to go into Radiant Greninja. I don't really want to use Radiant Greninja if we have to use our Legacy Energy as the retreat. We did get Ionoed, which could give us a Jet Energy. Would be really, really nice to see. Did not get the Jet Energy. We'll play out our hand as much as possible here. We definitely got to go top deck the Jet Energy. It's exactly what we wanted to see. All right, let's grab a couple more Water Energy here. Go ahead and concealed cards. Maybe we could just straight draw into the Palkia here for... That's crazy. The fact that we just got the Jet Energy off the top deck is crazy. We're going to Star Portal, and we're going to use Jet Energy to save our Legacy Energy. Perfect. All right, we do have 3 in the discard. I think we're going to go ahead and attach 1 to Palkia. I don't think we're going to get back-to-back Moonlight Shurikens here. Let's try. You know what? Let's try. Even if we get knocked out, it does put the energy into our discard. We'll just take both Charmanders, and we'll try and get a second Moonlight Shuriken next turn. Yeah, we have a second Moonlight Shuriken next turn. If they don't have an attack, I would say, with a double turbo energy in their Pidgeot. But even that is only... That's not a knockout either, so... I don't think we have to worry about a knockout here. They must have prized their Manaphy. Most Charizard deck lists have gone back to playing Manaphy because they played a couple Buddy Poffins and they just haven't gotten it yet. We may win this. We may take all 6 prizes with Radiant Greninja. We may not even have to evolve to Ceruledge. That's crazy. There's Iono. That's actually really strong for our opponent. If they don't get another Charmander down, we'll just take both Charmanders again. I do like the 30 HP Charmanders. At least one of them in your deck. Roaring Moon's a pretty popular Pokemon. And you need to be able to break Pikachu EX, its ability. So using this 1 energy 30 damage attack is really good at doing that, with only having a single prizer in the active. All right, there's Pidgeot. They must have prized Manaphy here. And I don't think they're going to get a prize card to get it out of the prizes. Not sure what they're going to do here. All right, we're just going to take both Charmanders again. No reason not to. We'll do concealed cards. There's Ceruledge. So we will at least evolve one of our Ceruledges here. Just go ahead and attach. We're going to play research. We're going to try and get boss's orders for next turn. Did not get the boss, which is completely fine. We'll just take both Charmanders again. They had to. Either they don't play Manaphy or they prized it. If they don't play Manaphy after this match, they're definitely going to be playing Manaphy. Radiant Greninja is so strong. Another jet. If we could get a hold of boss's orders here, we'll just play that. And just boss up the Pidgeot. Playing Arven. They're not quitting. Need Super Rod here for sure. Yeah, Super Rod. That's a Buddy Poffin. Or that was a Hero's Cape. That will stop us from taking a knockout on one of their Charmanders at least. All right. They got to put the Hero's Cape on a Charmander. Just hope it doesn't die. Probably grab a Buddy Poffin with Pidgeot, or they could just hit me with Iono. That's probably the better play. Hit me with another Iono, put me down to 2. Does help me get closer to a boss's orders, though. All right, I think we just thin out our deck here as much as possible and try and get the boss's orders. Yeah, there's one in there. There's a Pal Pad. If we get the boss's orders, we should have game. There's the boss. Perfect. Absolutely perfect game for this deck. We are doing 290. So we have the last 2 prize cards with Ceruledge and Abyssal Flames. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. 3 turns, 6 prizes, 4 of them. We took out 4 Charmanders with Radiant Greninja. Busted, man. Got to play Manaphy if you're playing Charizard.